He's probably thinking too, okay, fine, lyrically, I'm going to really, I'm probably try to knock people's socks off or whatever.
Well, like you said, he said he wanted to hear directly from him, so he was going to
Right.
speak, speak his
But,
mind.
but you're going to get my signature sound.
Hey, welcome back to Into the Music. I'm Chris. I'm here with my buddy Greg, and Greg's got something for us all to listen to and for me to react to for the first time.
So the doctor is in. The doctor.
It makes me feel like I've heard something.
Dr. John. Dr. John. So anyway,
I don't really know. Okay, Dr. John. All right.
Well, you know Dr. John, right? We all know Dr. John. No, but you know
Is
of
he
him.
a real doctor?
No. No, but I've got some information on the other side to explain how he got his Dr. John name, right?
Oh, okay.
His name is not, his parents didn't name him Doctor, and his last name's John.
Well, I just thought it was a title.
Doctor, get over here. Clean up that mess. All right. So anyway, Bob, we know Bob, right? Bob has requested another song. And like I said, it's Dr. John. Hey, Bob, another song from Bob, and it's Dr. John's Revolution. That's the name of the song.
Is it a cover?
No.
Beatles song? Okay.
No. You never give me information up front, I have to how dare you ask me for information?
Yeah, because I don't. Oh, yeah.
How dare you?
I'm sorry. I will not be so bold.
Don't let it happen again.
Next time.
Yeah. So go check it out. Revolution by Dr. John. Come on back.
Okay. All right.
Let's all just pray on it right now.
Hey, look, I see you back.
Yep.
So what'd you think about Dr. John's his own song, Revolution?
I was going to I was about to start a revolution recently, and it's funny because I thought about it too. I thought, well, is this the final solution? And I decided against it. That's why I'm not in jail right now. But anyway, I really like this song, and it's looks like it's akin to the message from the Beatles' Revolution. And
Yeah.
it wasn't saying, hey, go start a revolution. Don't it was like, well, okay, what are you gonna do? Is this really the answer to the problems? And
Yeah.
I don't remember the specific lyrics. I was following it as I was going through, but basically that's the gist of it, right?
It really is. I mean, I think it's him calling out the problems that he sees in the world today. Some of the lyrics are, and he's calling them out. Blind eyes of justice, deaf ears of power. This is the first verse. Dumb moves on money left us in a desperate hour. Economy conning me out of my sanity. Rebellious revolution. Is this the final solution? Final solution. And the lyrics get really kind of heavy here with the second verse. Hands in surrender, killed in their tracks, babies, women raped, leaders on their back, religious delusions, stone confusion. So I think it's kind of calling out problems worldwide, injustice, social injustice, just right down
Right,
the line. This is
but
coming
it's
sort of personally, sort of how he sort of seeing the world, and the problems that are out there. Yeah.
well, yeah, he sounds like he's describing the problems
Yeah.
with the current leadership and governments, but
Yeah.
at the same time talking against revolution, that's just going to cause violence and so on. You know what I'm saying? So
Well, I think
that's
he's
how I see it.
questioning it. Wonder if he's, like he thinks about it, maybe it's what's needed, but
Oh,
is
you're
it?
saying he's tossing it up because he says, is this really the final solution?
Right.
Thing
And
is, thing is, when you mention the final solution, you think of the Holocaust because that was the final solution. So, not only in general is he asking if it's the final solution, but it's got that connotation to it. In other
okay.
words,
Yeah.
no, this ain't, that's how what I got out of
All
it
right. Yeah.
because
Yeah.
of
Yeah.
that connection to the Holocaust, Um, but it's okay. So if that is the case where he's saying, hey, we got all these problems that are horrible, but at the same time, trying to rebel against it would be horrible too, which is really the truth, right? You're gonna
Yeah.
have a bloodless revolution. And so you're in a pickle. What do? You're damned if you do and you're damned if you don't, I guess. But other than that, I really, and I can just say this about Dr. John in general, it's the
Yeah.
music. It's the music, and I think, of course I heard some horns in there. I heard something that was almost like a tuba. I don't know what that low horn was.
Yeah. They had a lot of stuff in there. Let me just kind of just get back a little bit to the song itself and give you a little bit of context. And I think it sort of connects a little bit to why he recorded this song. So Dan Auerbach, who is the lead guitarist and singer for the Black Keys. So he got together with Dr. John in 2012.
That's
And
how recent this is?
yeah, and so he
I'm thinking
produced
like
this.
70s.
So he produced this, right? And it sounded like he kind of almost pitched it to Dr. John because what he was basically saying, and he was quoted by NPR, I wanted to surround him with younger guys to test him a bit. I also wanted him to talk from the Mac Rebennack, which that's his real name. I wanted him to speak as Mac Rebennack from that perspective, lyrically, right? Not from the Dr. John perspective. And so, Dr. John, I think responded like, okay, you want to really hear from what I think and my viewpoint,
You mean because
put the Dr. John,
usually Dr. John stuff is fairly upbeat and
Yeah.
Not light musically, but light as far as the mood goes.
Yeah, you know, he's known with the voodoo sort of blues kind of New Orleans sound and the real funky, and you know, Dr. John's that persona, and I think a lot of his music kind of, you know, sort of is connected to that persona, Dr. John, you know, really great stuff, but you know, how deep is really his songs. He's like, all right, fine. So this is what Max sort of thinks about the world at this age. I'm in my 70s, and you know, this is as personal sort of, you know, as I get, you know.
That's cool. That's cool.
Yeah. Yeah.
Too bad people have to keep singing about the same shit over and over. I'm not knocking his stuff. I'm talking about the
Oh
subject.
yeah.
I'm talking about
Yeah,
what
yeah,
he's
yeah.
singing about,
Right.
you know. It's
But
nothing
to the
really
music though, right? The music though is like really good. And it's funny, Rolling Stone magazine online in 2012, they were sort of advertised, they put this little sort of blurb out there at the time saying, calling all the little voodoo childs out there, dig into the first taste of the New Orleans R&B master's latest platter. Cut with Black Keys frontman Dan Auerbach over a chunky brass-laced groove. The good doctor rages against the machine while banging out a deeply funky Farfisa solo, Farfisa. So that was really cool. Like, whoever wrote that was like sort of saying ding ding ding, you know, it's still, you're getting this Dr. John sound, you know, get ready, you know, R&B, man, R&B masters latest platter.
I'm surprised this is I would have thought this would go back to one of his much older albums, like I said. And it still sounds fresh though. And
Yeah.
he does that kind of music that
Yeah.
you can't really put a time on it. I only put a time on it because it's Dr. John. I only put it in the 70s because it's him.
Right.
Not because of the sound of the music, because the sound of this kind of music's kind of timeless.
Yeah.
There's nothing that stands out from any particular period of time as far as instrumentation or the way it's recorded. And this is really good, man. I really like this song. I'll definitely be listening to it again.
He's probably thinking too, okay, fine, you know, lyrically, I'm going to really, you know, I'm probably trying to knock people's socks off or whatever.
Well, like you said, he said he wanted to hear directly from him, so he was going to speak, you know, speak.
But you're going to get my signature sound, you know. I still love the R&B. I still love that funk. I'm going to somehow put that in and make it work. You know, you're going to hear that horn brass kind of stuff. You know, you're going to hear that. You're going to hear that. My voice, his voice, it sounded like Dr. John's voice from like the stuff that, you know, we probably know from the 70s, the 60s, especially the 70s. So because we've never done a Dr. John song before, just some interesting, I think, information about him, right? So he started out in the late 1950s as Mac Rebennack, right? He was not Dr. John yet. In the late 50s as a studio session musician, a guitarist.
Really?
Yeah. Until his ring finger on his left guitar fretting hand was injured by a gunshot. So that ended all the guitar playing days, and he took on the piano. Now, whether or not, you know, he was already playing piano and he knew how to play, you know, and then he just said, okay, piano, here we go. Or he had to learn that new instrument, that I'm not sure about. But yeah, that was 1960. And then
he adjusted well, whether, you know, whatever he had to do.
Yeah, absolutely. Right. And then in the 60s, early 60s, he sold drugs and ran a brothel in New Orleans. And he went to prison for
a brothel in New Orleans? I heard of such a thing.
Animals. The rising sun. So for 2 years, right? And then he got out in 1965. And then after getting out, he settled in LA, and he quickly became the first call session musician that people would go to in the LA studio scene. And actually, that's where he became part of that band, the studio session band called the Wrecking Crew, right? We've talked about them before.
He was a member of the Wrecking Crew?
Yes, he was. Yeah.
Well, really? For how long?
I believe for a while. I think for a few years.
Like
I don't know if they. I don't. Yeah. I don't believe that he was on every recording that they've done for all these. Right. But yeah. If you look back at that Netflix.
Yeah, but I don't remember who was the main keyboard person.
Yeah, if you go back, I remember them actually. You know, sort of he was there. You know, some pictures and stuff, really? And they talked about him. Yeah, yeah. So yeah. Also, interesting fact about him, right, is that in New Orleans, and I think this is how he got his name, right? So interested, uh, Mac was interested in New Orleans voodoo as a very young man, and so Rebenak developed the idea of the Dr. John persona based on the life of Dr. John, who was a Senegalese prince, conjurer man, herb doctor, and spiritual healer who came to New Orleans from Haiti. So he became, at some point in the 60s, I think 1967 or so, 68, he finally became Dr. John. And he was known as Dr. John on his so he was a solo, I mean, he was a session guy, right? For all that time up until 68, when he put out his first album called Gris Gris, or Grease Grease, Gris, which combined voodoo rhythms and chants from the New Orleans music tradition. So, and that's how he basically got his solo career started. And I think he's put out 30 plus studio albums. He's got a crap ton of a shit ton of live stuff. There's just a lot of music, man, a lot of music production related to Dr. John. He put out a lot of stuff, man. And very, very busy guy. And he died June 6, 2019 at the age of 77. So that's really, and so this is actually what I said, right? This was not 2012 and the album was locked down. And it won 2013 Grammy for Best Blues Album.
Cool.
So yeah, that must have been fantastic. I don't know if he won any Grammys before then. So yeah, but
well, you know what really makes him immortal though is Dr. Teeth from the Muppets, based on him.
Yeah, right. You're being serious. I had heard that. Yeah, that's really cool. Yeah, I know. That's excellent.
Yeah.
I
do think that's pretty cool.
I'm in the wrong time, in the wrong place, the wrong time, in the right place. So am I right? I'm in the right place at the wrong time. I must have been in the right place. Yeah, I must have been in the right place at the wrong time. That's a great song. I'm sure he has other stuff too.
That's a big.
I'm sitting here now racking my brain trying to remember some of the Dr. John stuff. But cool. This was Bob. Bob, really good request, man. But this was actually no. You have the final word because you're the one who reacted to.
You can still say it's a good request.
So
I think it's a good request. So
there you go.
That's fine.
I was speaking on your behalf, though. Sorry.
Yeah. So Bob, thank you for this request. It was really good to hear Dr. John. So hey, if you like this video, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button if you haven't yet, and we will definitely catch you next time on Into the Music.
See ya.